Before we start our presentation, we're going to give you a little myth and fact test about ADHD.
Myth or fact, ADHD is caused by bad parenting.
We're supposed to answer myth or fact?
Yeah.
Myth.
You're right. ADHD is a neurobiological condition that's chronic. Parenting style does not cause ADHD.
Myth or fact? Myth or fact? Only kids who are hyper have ADHD.
Myth.
You are right. Even though kids can be hyper without having ADHD.
Myth or fact? Sugar causes hyperactivity.
Fact. Well, I think that could be a fact.
It is a myth.
Oh, no.
Sugar can cause overweight, diabetes, and other problems, but it has never been proven to cause hyperactivity. Myth or fact? There are as many girls as boys that have ADHD.
I think there's more boys.
Myth. Boys tend to be identified. It's a fact.
It's a fact.
Boys tend to be identified and treated more frequently than girls. So some people believe that girls rarely have ADHD.
Myth or fact? ADHD cannot be cured.
Fact.
It is a fact. Even though ADHD cannot be cured, it can be helped with a combination of medication and therapy. World problem. Although ADHD is more frequently diagnosed in the United States, other countries such as Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, and Germany also have been documented to have ADHD. Different cultures have different approaches in how to help and treat ADHD. I am Braeden Packard from Holloman Elementary.
I'm Benjamin Puello from Bonham Elementary. I'm Curtis Owens from Lamar Elementary.
I'm Nathaniel Rodriguez from Santa Rita Elementary.
Fisher Russwurm from Santa Rita Elementary.
And we are
The ADHD Mythbusters.
What is ADHD? ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. It is a neurobiological disorder that is a chronic condition affecting millions of children and adults.
1 in 20 children are affected by ADHD. Children are typically diagnosed of ADHD between the ages 5 through 7. Hyperactivity, impulsiveness, inattention must be present for at least 6 months before being diagnosed with ADHD. 1 to 10% of the entire U.S. population is affected by ADHD. ADHD was discovered in 1902. Dopamine is a chemical in the brain for regulating the ability to feel pleasure, pain, focus, attention, physical movement, and emotional responses.
ADHD people often do not produce enough dopamine. This deficiency affects the anterior frontal cortex, influences attention and focus.
Medications such as Ritalin help increase the levels of dopamine. According to a book called Attention Deficit Disorder, the symptoms are distracted easily, hard time following the rules, forgetfulness, impulsiveness, and hyperactivity.
This is how people might feel with ADHD: frustrated, sad or depressed, left out, mad, and dumb.
Treatments and help. Treatments: education, counseling, behavior training, structure and memory aids, medication. People who help: pediatricians, psychologists, therapists, neurologists, parents, and teachers.
We did many things to help us learn about ADHD. We learned that pediatricians help diagnose ADHD, so we met with Dr. Schultz, a pediatrician at Shannon Clinic.
Here you see us visiting Dr. Schultz's office. He told us some interesting things while we were there. He told us that the medications he prescribes help the kid or adult with their ADHD. He also told us that you have to be 6 or 7 to be diagnosed. Dr. Hamby is an ASU psychologist. She taught us what it was like to have ADHD. She showed us a video, and the main objective was to see how many times they bounced the ball. But in the background, there was a gorilla pounding its chest, there was a curtain changing, and the person from the black team left. She told us that if you had ADHD, you would get distracted by the things in the background.
Hypothesis. Listening to classical music while playing a simple concentration game on the computer will produce a faster completion of time than listening to loud, fast music. 8 people predicted that classical music would help concentration. 2 people predicted loud, fast music would help. The music experiment we did was on the computer, a concentration game where we put on music, classical music, loud music, and no music at all.
The concentration game was on the computer and it was timed. We did 2 times with no music to get more concentration, and 2 times with classical music, and 2 times with loud, fast music. This is all of us doing the concentration game.
As you can see in this picture, soft classical music, an average of 10 students with soft classical music was 184 seconds. An average of 10 students with soft classical music was 191 seconds. An average of 10 students with 210 seconds. These are the same 10 students every time we did the experiment. Our actual experiment was soft classical music and loud fast music, which one helped better. But no music was even better than both of them. So we figured out that no music was better. So we asked our classroom teachers to give 15 minutes of quiet time in the morning and 15 minutes of quiet time in the afternoon. One of our teachers said it did make a difference. Our 2 identified ADHD students were able to finish writing quicker. We did prove that listening to the classical music was better than listening to the loud rock music while playing the concentration game. However, we did prove that the quiet environment was the best environment for concentrating. My personal story, I was diagnosed with ADHD in the beginning of the school year. I learned a lot about it, and I'm glad that I learned a lot about it, and I was glad that I learned a lot about it because I can fight it now and teach people about it too. And there's actually a lot more positives about ADHD than not the best things about ADHD.
As Curtis said, there is many positives of ADHD. There's over 100. But here's only the best ones that we've picked. Endless energy, great imagination, creativity, great passion for interest, and good problem solving. Did you know that there's some famous people that had ADHD? Here's some of them. Benjamin Franklin, Abraham Lincoln, Mozart, Elvis Presley, and John F. Kennedy.
These are resources to help us to learn about ADHD. Thank you, mentors.
Dr. Schultz and Dr. Ham. Thank you for